Back to China trade. Here we go. Listen to what Larry Kudlow had to say earlier on this program. Roll tape, please.
Oh, my goodness.
If the deal doesn't work for the United States and our long-term interests, whether it's technology, IP, theft, enforcement, commodities, tariffs, if the deal doesn't work for America's long-term interests, then it's not our deal.
Michael Pillsbury is with us, Hudson Institute China strategist. Michael, I asked Larry Kudlow what makes an historic deal, and he outlined it, and he said that's what's written down on paper, and it would be an historic deal. What do you make of it?
Well, I was listening carefully to Larry Kudlow. I'm a Larry Kudlow fan. I think he does a superb job of reflecting the president's views. But, Stu, I've got to chastise you. I think you misinterpreted what he's saying. He did list several things that he thinks ought to end. Intellectual property theft, forcible technology transfer, and so forth. China has not promised to end these things. China denies it ever did it. So the Chinese view of the trade agreement, I can tell you a little bit about. There's 10 points they wanted. I think they got some of their points. One of them, Stu, and we can make a little bit of news here, they want to bid on American government infrastructure projects. Now, this has been talked about as a $1 trillion plan. That's a very big concession to the Chinese that they're talking about over in Beijing. They're bragging about what they got out of this agreement. Second thing Larry said that's very important, I think you misinterpreted. Larry said the talks are still going on. There's telephone conversations, there's meetings. In other words, the deal is not final 2 weeks ago. Many people thought it was a final deal. It's not. It's still going on. And just to accentuate that, China's commerce minister, that's a very high-ranking guy, told the New York Times yesterday, it's page 1 today in the New York Times business section, we have a lot of work to do and we're still negotiating. But now that's serious. That's not good news.
But Michael, wouldn't you expect that? You're going to have a lot of backwards and forwards. They've got it on paper. They're finalizing details. Who's going to say what? You would expect wouldn't you expect in a negotiating process to go right down to the wire?
What Larry Kudlow told you also is very important. He said the Chinese delegation, when they were here 2 weeks ago, they agreed to this text. But now we have to go through the filter, he called it, which is correct, of President Xi himself and the Politburo. That's not done yet. So Chinese demands, the 10 points they wanted that were made public by them back in May, that's got to be addressed. And some of them are pretty serious demands on the Chinese side. They want to break into the e-commerce payment system and have it blessed by the U.S. government. On their side, this whole enforcement mechanism is based on companies coming in anonymously, making a complaint, having their identity protected, and then somehow a process taking place where the Chinese promise, Larry said this very clearly, that they will not retaliate if the U.S. puts tariffs on to punish them again. I can't imagine China ever accepting that. It's a violation of Chinese sovereignty. So we have a long way to go still. One can be optimistic in the end. As Larry told you, I'm not here to be bearish. One can take that view, yes, but there's plenty more to do. We can't minimize that.
Okay. Michael, you know what's going on, and we appreciate your input on this. Thank you very much indeed, sir.
I'm not here to be bearish either.
No, but we'll see a lot of you in the next few weeks, I can tell you that. Michael Pillsbury, everyone. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, Mike.